Hello, friends, and welcome to Talking with Famous People. Thank you, Internet.
It's not so good in the bedroom.
After all of those, oh my goodness. What a lot of what for we had to what for through. Was quite a bit of it, let me tell you. We had to move all this shit. It's just as well we did. We should have set it up out here in the first place. But you know, I didn't really think it through that much. The thing is, I kind of anticipated, like, okay, well, when we get back home, I'm going to have to reset everything up. That's why I set it all in bed and everything. But I guess I just didn't really think about this thing. Don't make that noise. Okay. Just stop it, okay? What I need is this thing. This is going to do perfect.
Squire bubbling in. What a handsome.
This is the live stream that doesn't want to be.
Yeah.
But you know what? Too bad. Live stream universe. It's gonna be anyway. I guess another way of looking at it is this is a live stream that I didn't want to give it to me cheap and easy. You know, I think it's an important live stream for me, at least, probably for both of us, to make. But as a consequence, we kind of had to work more. I think I can make this text bigger. Does anyone know how to make it? No, it's not fine for me. There. Now I can read it fine. Everything has to be difficult. Okay, well, welcome to Eric and Rachel's difficulty party, where everything's difficult. And we're finally back up and streaming though. We're back in this house, and it's like completely empty of stuff, pretty much. They have one more trip to make apparently tomorrow morning. Well, not apparently. I see the stuff they still haven't gotten, but yeah, it's an empty house. There's like nothing in here. So of course, immediately, Rich, and the only spot that's our spot when we come home is totally overtaken by additional stuff that they found for us to have to keep, like photos and stuff. We have so many photos. You would not believe it. I mean, we've got crates and crates and crates of photos. We've got every bit of documentation from both of their SI lives.
Yes, and just FYI, Jeffrey's mom called.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
What did she say?
I didn't answer.
Okay. Doesn't it suck to stress out that TE shit? So I hate TE most of the time. I mean, it sucked, but it wasn't. It's like I don't really have that much to complain about at all. It wasn't. It shouldn't have surprised me. It's like we came home. Of course, it doesn't go perfectly smoothly. My plan to set up in the bedroom was half-assed at best to begin with. The idea being we're gonna half-ass this because we're not gonna be here long, you know, and we're trying to leave as little footprint of us here. We don't want to have to move again after we've already moved everything into the pod and everything. So we're gonna try to keep as little. But I had to get a couple things out of the pod to make this whole thing go. So it took a little bit of time to deal with, and then my initial plan during the bedroom was just stupid to begin with. I should just listen to Rachel in the very first time that she said we should get the chairs out of the pod. I should have just listened to her. The rest followed naturally from that. But as usual, Eric has his idea, and it's bad. So, you know, that's just part of being Eric. It's fine. It's not something I can't handle.
It wasn't a bad idea. It's just like I also forgot that the internet is not so good in the bedroom.
Yeah, the internet isn't. The thing is good enough for download rate, but this requires a good upload rate. And it's not going to be good enough. So we had an okay drive back, tire change. Well, the tire change, we didn't need them on the way back. We just needed them on the way there. And you know what? It was fine. It was like this, you know? There's some suck in life. It's just unavoidable. Sometimes and it's all about expectations, right? If you expect a 13-hour drive, then a 13-hour drive sucks like a 13-hour drive. If you expect a 10-hour drive and you have a 13-hour drive, then it's experienced very differently. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It was Winter Wonderland, though, and that was good. I was more comfortable with it than Rachel, I think, because I had taken a Valium. You know, along with amphetamine, so I was perfectly fine to drive, you know. I took one of each at the same time. So I was pretty chilled out throughout the whole experience getting up there. But this afternoon, when we got home, well, you know, again, it has everything to do with your expectations. We arrived back in LA. You know, the general LA area, probably 1:30 or something like that.
Thank you, Squad.
Well, we didn't get back here till 3 o'clock because the traffic was so terrible. There's no reason for the traffic to be that terrible at that time at all. It was, you know, I think I have things timed well to avoid that. I didn't think about it at all when we went into Portland, and we hit the worst rush hour traffic, probably the single worst rush hour traffic day probably of their whole year. It was pouring rain. There were multiple accidents. It was Friday afternoon at like 4 o'clock. So it was a nightmare. But coming into LA, I always think about that. I always think about when we're going to get into here because I think, I don't know, I just think about the rush hour, and I knew we were going to be fine as far as rush hour goes if we left when we did, which was earlier than checkout, but not much. Yeah. Checkout was noon. The Madonna Inn was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, what a wonderful place.
Yeah, it was a wonderful place. It is.
Yeah.
Meow.
Yeah, I'm sure I think so too.
Meow.
And anyway, on the way back from Madonna Inn, we have some crazy videos from last night, which I have to go through and see if I want to upload it here or not. Because, greetings. Because we arrived at the Madonna Inn, newly encumbered, you might say, by 2 full ounces of very good mushrooms. So, and
Meow.
I got an ounce each of 2 different strains. And I hadn't eaten any mushrooms in like 4 days or something. Rachel and I ate the stronger of the kinds, which was called Ghost PE, which is a great name for some mushrooms. And I guess we tripped pretty hard, but you know, I wouldn't say
Oh, yes.
I was like tripping balls or anything, but Ghost PE. No, Ghost PE, not Ghost P. Ghost PE.
Hey, unique rides.
Ghost P would be a fine name too, but Ghost PE is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, it's like I was kind of feeling down, rolling into the Madonna Inn, just because, well, mostly because I was near the end of my bottle of Adderall, and I always get a little broody towards that. But additionally, obviously, there were some things to brood about that are legit too, which is simply just I'm continuing my conscious decisions regarding I'm continuing to implement my plan to like know ahead of time what the loss of this house is going to feel like by imagining myself in that reality. By talking to Rachel about it and saying like I said today, for my whole life, I've been getting off on these exits here. Even when I lived in Temple City, I have to still get off on those same exits to get to my house in Temple City, which I lived in for 20 years, And then when I was in Laverne, obviously, when I went to see my parents, I'd get off on those exits, etc. Right? So I have to imagine ahead of time the reality that when I'm coming back to LA, those exits aren't going to mean anything anymore. There's not going to be anything there for me. And that the reality isn't just that I'm losing this house that's been my family home for my whole life, even though I haven't lived here my whole life, but that it's meaningless anyway without my parents. My parents, more or less, are dead. My dad is, my mom is not. But she's getting there. So there's nothing here for me, I think it's an absolute value side thing. I don't feel very good about memories in general. If there are positive memories about people or pets that I no longer have, then I just find them depressing. If they're negative memories, then they suck, and I'll remember them way more than I'll remember the positive ones. I have a fourth slot relationship with memories. It's like I like to use my memories to tell certain kinds of stories sometimes, but when I'm just with them myself, I'd rather not be with them, you know? They're not good. It's not a good way for me to experience myself, really. The only thing we can count on is change, but it still hurts. Yeah, well, it hurts is a weird. It's not like I find it particularly painful emotionally or anything. I find it shocking to the system. You know, I find it disruptive to ongoing narratives. So I've begun making all these new narratives before it actually happens. I found the process of doing this to be a learning experience for me, a growth experience for me. Like, it's been empowering, but it's also been exposing. Like, you really have to know what you want about something super big. And FI is not my preferred deliberation function, you know. Of course, Rachel has doesn't have the same relationship with this place that I do, obviously, but she's also along for the ride for the whole thing, and so she's impacted kind of secondhand by me talking about it a lot and stuff, you know. So, I mean, obviously, this whole thing has been disruptive to her too, but I don't know. We sure do have a good relationship.
Yeah.
One of those famous quotations we heard today said, "Never travel with people you don't love."
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, traveling with somebody, you're stuck in very close proximity with them the whole time, and you don't have a whole lot of alone time really. And if you don't really get along with the person, it's gonna be difficult sledding there pretty quick, you know. Oh, wonderful man, you're a wonderful man, and I am to pet you with my wonderful hand. Wonderful man. What a wonderful man he is.
He is a wonderful man.
There's some other interesting quotes today. I'm holding it right now. It's amazing how it is with certain things. Like, I lose everything. I've basically had this in my hand since I stole it. I accidentally stole it. I don't think that really quite counts as stealing it, but the thing about pocketing a lighter is even if you were to do it intentionally, you can always get away with the lie that my bad, dude. I just accidentally pocketed your letter. It's true in my instance, but people will believe it from anybody, regardless of whether it's true.
Hmm.
Makes me want to steal some letters on purpose. No, it doesn't. I'm just kidding. I really thought that was certain ones of my videos will make me laugh a lot. That one made me laugh a lot. I could watch it. I watched it several times. It made me laugh every time. Where Luz Liar says, "I've enjoyed our time together, but I'll have to live a new life with Eric." Oh, that was a funny video.
It is funny.
My video where I said I love the Madonna Inn, but real cavemen had better internet than this fucking place. That got 4,500 views or something.
Wow.
Yeah, so. Just supposed to show you. The other. What subliminal messages did it put in? I wonder. Well, if I knew what they were, it would be liminal, obviously. Hi, Boba Fett. I prefer Yat, actually.
Yeah, me too.
Yat! Well, it's the yay of yeets.
Yes.
I'm happy to be streaming too. I feel like I've got a lot of stuff to unload on the community. I've been thinking about. I wanted to stream a lot yesterday, but there was just no streaming in that place.
Yeah.
It was even worse than our bedroom over there. It was just like all red. At least in the bedroom, you got some yellow.
Yeah,
a little flash of yellow or orange, but yeah. The point is, I guess, if you're at the Madonna Inn, what the fuck are you doing on the internet? Just go enjoy the Madonna Inn. It's so spectacular. I will be uploading some videos. Like, there's a video I made last night. I was walking around. And it's all about how much I hate objects. And it shows a lot of the Madonna Inn. That's why I hate objects. Because that's one of a million reasons why I hate objects is that why get objects when you can get experiences? I'd rather stay in that crazy place for a night and buy some objects. That place is nuts. I mean, and the thing about it is, it's super nuts and it's upscale. Like, they never, crazy ass shit like that is never upscale. It's always a little seedy or something. That place is completely bonkers and super nice. It's like, and it's not that much more expensive than a regular hotel. It's like the night before we stayed at the Red Roof Inn, it wasn't that bad really, but Redding's kind of seedy. That was the cheapest hotel we stayed at. The Madonna Inn was like $100 more than the Red Roof Inn.
Wow.
But it was 100 times better. So.
Yes.
And the Red Roof Inn wasn't bad. It was clean. It was comfortable.
Updated, new.
Yeah, it looked updated and stuff. You know, but it's still the kind of place where, well, you know what, Madonna Inn made me leave a deposit too. The Red Roof Inn said, okay, well, you have to leave $100 deposit, and you get back when you check out. Okay. Because what, I'm not gonna check out or something? And even then, what good is $100 to you? If somebody does just squat in your hotel room, $100 is not nearly enough money to to compensate you for that hassle. Anyway, but yeah, I left $100 deposit. The next morning I went in and I checked out. They said, do you have any pets? I said, no. It's like, why don't you ask me this when I check in? You know? Do you have any pets? No. How many people were there? Just me and Rachel. Are you completely out of the room? That question I understand. The other questions, you really should have asked me that when I checked in, right? If you're concerned about us having pets or more than 2 people in the room, why don't you ask us that when we check in? Yes, Octavia. Oh, yes, Octavia. So extreme. It shocked me so much I dropped my cigarette. Are there any local restaurants you have been to at TWP? Well, last night we ridiculously, but this was the only meal we did the whole trip, so I don't feel too bad about it. We went to the most ridiculous, most insane steakhouse you or anyone has ever seen. It's like a steakhouse for little girls. Everything's pink and sparkly.
Yeah.
It was crazy. You could, yeah, I mean, you could look it up online, look at pictures of it. We ate at that crazy ass steakhouse. You know, Rachel was in the room. She was staying in the room because we were on, you know, we were pretty well. I mean, it was towards the end of the mushroom trip, but that sounds like a compromise between a Texan and his wife. No, it's just the vision of this guy, whatever his name, first name was Madonna, was his last name, I think it's Jack Madonna or something, who was clearly an Edom. You know, I mean, the thing is, he must have been an ENFP because ENTPs couldn't make it like that. They'd think the idea. Is that what it's called, Alex Madonna's Gold Rush Steakhouse? From the name, you would not guess at all what the fuck your place looks like.
Yeah, no, not at all. I don't know what was Gold Rush about
it. That's when steaks were made? I don't know either.
Yeah, it is pink on
sheer
pink.
insanity. Well, anyway, I walked from the room, which was itself sheer insanity, to go to the coffee shop to get us both some food, bring it back to the room. We eat some dinner, you know. But between me and the coffee shop was this.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Is this a restaurant? She said, yes, this is the steakhouse. This is the steakhouse? I looked at the menu and I couldn't fucking read it because I had my glasses, but I couldn't find what pocket they were in. It's just, oh, Winter, you and your too many pockets. So I couldn't even see how much expensive it was, you know. Finally I just was like, oh, fuck it, I'll just eat here. Rachel's not even with me, so it's going to be half as much as usual. But then when I sat down, I'm like, no, I don't care how lazy she's feeling. Rachel would be upset or feel sad if she knows she missed this. You gotta be here for this. So then I called her and I said, come down here and what do you want to eat? a steakhouse. Immediately answers lobster. So, you know, it's like my steak costs like $50, you know. You know how steakhouses are. They're freaking ridiculously expensive. Her lobster cost $90.
I didn't know that.
I didn't let you look at the menu because then you would have been like, fuck that, I'm not
Yeah,
getting this lobster.
yeah, I would have said that.
You should have, it was enormous. It was an enormous piece of lobster. We didn't even eat like hardly half our food. And we were just like, I'm full. So, anyway, that's not something I would ever, I never have those kind of meals because it's just such a waste of money, right?
Yeah.
But not that one.
No.
That one was like a celebration of having done all this horrible shit we've had to do. You know? That one was for everything. It was just like, okay. All this dealing with these people, all these fucking papers and sending things and moving all that shit out to the pod and having to leave the house for a week. Although it's like, oh, you're going on vacation. Well, yeah, and we enjoyed visiting Lou for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But until the Madonna, until the Madonna or slash, until I scored those mushrooms. It was kind of like a wash as a trip, like, you know, it was a lot of discomfort, a lot of time in the car, basically. And Portland, I liked it a lot at first, but like by the third day I was there, I was like, okay, I wouldn't want to live here. It's just too city. I'm just tired of city. So coming back into LA, it's like, oh God, why is there so much traffic today at this time when I went out of my way to avoid it? There wasn't even any reason. It's like there wasn't even a crash or anything. There's just too many people. What's been going on with us recently? We've been on a week-long trip, which, you know, was done pretty cheaply until the last night where we had that ridiculous dinner at that
so
ridiculous
good. I can
steakhouse.
still taste it in my mouth.
Everything was so good. It was really incredible. And it was one of those perfect moments too. It's like I was still on mushrooms, feeling weird and happy.
Yeah.
You know, feeling delighted in things. Right now we're in the back house. Like the green screen used to be right here on this wall. But we're on this wall, obviously.
This is where the books used to be.
And rocks and a bunch of
Rocks,
other stuff,
yeah.
you know. And we didn't even. Yeah, I know, it was really decadent. That's not how we roll normally at all. But I'm sorry. When I saw that steakhouse, and it was clearly made for little girls, I said, I'm helpless to say no to this place.
Yeah.
Where you're aiming is hitting me perfectly. Like, I cannot say no to eating at this insane place. you know? I'm your target demographic, and I am absolutely, I don't know what the word is, like, just flabbergasted with delight at this
Yeah.
insane hotel.
Yeah, it is.
When are we moving? Well, as soon as this house sells, you know? It's like, that's why we were away for a week, so that the estate sale people would get everything out of here. They didn't quite do it. They missed it by a day. So they have to come back tomorrow. They don't have much left here. They mostly got it all out, but she called me on the way back saying we didn't quite finish. Which is fine, because they didn't start on Wednesday because they were smarter than me. I said, like, oh, we'll be out of here by noon. Oh, we weren't out of here till 10 o'clock at night. So, it's all in this fucking big metal box in front of the house called a pod. It's a big metal cube that you put your stuff in, and then they have this really crazy machine that they use to bring it and then take it away again. So it's like, it's by far the best way to move. You don't have to hire movers or anything. You just got to deal with these pods, people. You have to do all the lifting and carrying and shit, but you just pack up your pod. They'll just leave it there for a monthly fee for as long as you want it there. But the point is, once I'm sure it's all ready to go, I'm going to call pods, and then they are going to come back with their crazy machine and pick it up and put it on a truck and drive it to Fresno, where it will wait at their facility there until we get into the Mariposa house, and then Paws will bring our square box to us at Mariposa. We'll unload it all, and then they'll take it away, and then I'll be done with pods, you know.
That's great, though.
It's such a good system. It's such a good service. It's like, and the thing is, what's interesting is I talked to the driver for a bit who dropped it off, you know, because I was fascinated by this machine that they have, you know.
Yeah.
And apparently, the whole thing started with him having a vision or something, waking up in the morning with a vision of this crazy machine and drawing it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how the whole thing started. And the machine is just, you gotta see it in action. I'm sure there's a YouTube video somewhere of a pods being dropped off or picked up. It's so neat.
I was wondering how it would, like, pick it up and drop it off.
Yeah, it's... I'm so tired of needing classes. And the thing is, it's like with something like this, which is a bit of a TE nightmare to begin with, I can't even get Rachel to help me with it. Because the thing I'm trying to see isn't even a word. It's like a little symbol. And I can't even remember which symbol I'm looking for until I see it. This controller is not a Rachel-friendly remote control.
Mm-mm.
Can you figure out how to turn the heat with this?
It looks like it's on.
Oh, but okay, I know, but is it on heat or is it on cool?
I think it's on heat because there's a sun.
Okay. That might mean heat, but see, that's the other thing is I don't remember. I have to look at it to see. It says what they mean. Right.
Oh yeah, heat is the sun. Meow.
Meow. Okay. So, and then what temperature does it say?
81.
And what about the fan?
Mm,
Is it on 1 bar, 2 bars, 3 bars?
it's all the way. It's on 4 bars.
Okay, so it's just taking a second cycle on it. They just turned it on for the first time in a while, I guess.
I hope so.
It's like all of a sudden I was broken for some reason. Hi, Mr. Bobby.
Hi, Miss Bobby.
Does Santa visit India? Is that what you're asking, Dulles? The answer is no. And the reason is Indians don't have chimneys. What's he gonna do?
Yeah, what is he gonna do?
They're halfway containers? Well, the one we have is a small one. So it's probably a quarter of a shipping container.
There we
I
go.
don't remember how big it is exactly. India is not the only country he skips. He skips every country where people don't have single family homes with chimneys. He also skips everybody in apartments, everybody in condos, everybody in houses that just don't have a fireplace. So, you know, people have said, Santa, you're discriminating so much against people without chimneys. And he says, ho, ho, ho.
Meow.
Merry Christmas. He ignores what they're saying. Oh, yes, what a wonderful kitty. You're so happy to have us back, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yes, he is.
He just wants to sit right here with us.
Yes, he does.
Of course, that's how he always is, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It took him a little while to not be skittish once we got back. You know, at first he was kind of like scared of us. Like, are you still you? Or are you those people?
Yeah. That's a fact.
Instead of useless speculation, you could just all watch the Santa Claus. You know what? I looked into it. Turns out, even though it seems like a documentary, it's actually fiction.
What is?
Am I a clone? Yes. Well, even if I were a clone, I still have the same amount of love for kitties.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Well, yeah, and if that's the case, Dallas, then Santa has definitely improved over the years. If he started off as this firstborn stealing visitor who didn't come on Christmas, but instead came on Friday the 13th. Oh, morale is the love you feel, and morale is the word you say. Am I real or am I Memorex? I'm Memorex. Oh yes. What a fine kitty you are.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Man, I gotta say thank God for Cameron in general.
Yes.
Oh my God. He was such a godsend, you know.
Meow.
Trans isn't diverse enough. I wanted to be both trans and have Stephen Hawking's disease and be 1/3 black, 1/3 Native American, and 1/3 Asian. Then, and only then, will Santa be diverse enough. And also a woman. That is a trans woman. Okay. And the crazy thing is, she started off as a woman. So, she's the world's first trans person who went from woman to woman. I'll tell you, Mr. Bobby, there's nothing as significant, ultimately,
Meow.
as the love of a good woman if you've got the right relationship. It's just that almost nobody does. I mean, there's no way to know. It's like you can't feel it, you can't think it, you can't pros and cons it, you know. It's a crapshoot. You could typologically do, you know, you could use typology to eliminate certain impossible people, but it still won't tell you who the right person is. The proper woke term is Woperchild, okay? Woman is patriarchal because it has the word man in it. Person is patriarchal because it has the word son in it. So it's Woperchild. And a group of Woperchilds are called Woperchildren. That's the only way to respect women, to call them Woperchildren. Otherwise, you're just a patriarchal fuck. You don't want to be that, do you? Slave to the patriarchy.
Is the bong out? Yes, it is, right?
Is the bong right here? You can smoke a bowl. You can have this bowl that you partially smoked. You can finish it because it's partially smoked. That's how I know that it was you who hit it last. Cause I pull my bowls through. Yes, I pull my bowls through. But your little lungs won't let you do that. So you have partially smoked bowls. And you leave them there. And now you get to finish that whole bowl. And then you talk a lot, I show you so. You know who was a real feminist? Unsurprisingly, because he was an EHP. Mark Twain. Before the time when even like the suffragist movements were, you know. Mr. Bobby, I'm just hazarding a guess here, but I have a feeling those aren't real Japanese names. Real Japanese names are like Sakura and Yoshi. Another real Japanese name. Hiro. It's also the name of a Greek sandwich. You just saw Princess Mononoke and Spirited Away? Did you watch them both at the same time, each with one eye? That would be a feat. You know what I wanted to talk about a lot last night, and I'm unable to talk about it because of horrible internet there. All right. Listen very carefully. This is important stuff. Magicians, right? They all start off, it seems like, with what they seem to think is a trick, okay? That personally, I don't think is a trick at all. What they do is they tie a bunch of scarves together and then pull them out of their sleeve like this, right? And the whole trick is like, look how long it takes me to pull these scarves out of your sleeve. Who decided that was a good trick?
Gosh, I know.
Who is going around telling aspiring magicians the first thing you gotta do is tie a bunch of scarves together and then take a long time pulling them out of your clothes? I'm just so not impressed by that trick. Rachel suggested perhaps it was for children. But like, children, why would children want to see that?
Children don't. 'Cause I didn't want to see it.
I think if I was a child, I'd just be looking for something more entertaining to watch than,
No, it's so true. It's so true. Because we had a clown for my brother's first birthday, and that was one of the tricks. And I was like,
oh, was that more of a clown thing than a magician thing?
I don't know. No,
I thought it was a magician thing.
it is a magician thing. Meow, meow.
I don't care how long it takes you to pull scarves out of your sleeve. I still don't think it's magic. You know, that's there. I know how that trick works before I don't even have to think to try to figure it out. I just like know right away how that trick works. You just tie a bunch of scarves together and you put them in your clothes and pull them out. I mean, that's not magic at all.
Can I have a lighter, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
It is the case, however, that it does require a lot of scarves. Well, I mean, that's an actual magic trick, right? It's like, okay, you look like you cut somebody in half. I know how it works, but I get why it's a magic trick, you know? Because if you don't know how it works, you're going to be like, oh no, they sawed that lady in half. I really hope this magician knows what he's doing and his magic works to make her go back together. But, you know, but who's going to think that about, who's going to think that about tying scarves together? Well, it's either a magic trick or first degree murder. If it's really magic, then it would be first degree murder and then the lady would be back together again. And it wouldn't be anything. That would just be raising the dead, I guess. And you know, I'm pretty sure that counts as like dark magic, raising the dead. For all the stories I've read anyway, thank you. Raising the dead never turns out well.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever read a story the protagonist was like, it's a story of his struggle to try to figure out how to raise the dead. He finally figures it out. He raises the dead, and it's a happy ending. You never read that. You probably just want to go into the bathroom inside, Rachel. It's not that far away. Are you going to the bathroom? Just go inside, man. It's not that far away, and it's so much more comfortable than what you're trying to do. It's my suggestion. Do what you want, obviously. And Dr. Williamson finally succeeded. He brought his dead son back to life, and they lived happily ever after. It's just not a story you ever read. Because we all seem to be in agreement that once you're dead, you should stay dead. You know? Even though it's sad, bringing you back to life, well, that's not going to turn out well. I have a typology question. Do people usually like people of the same type? Yeah, sort of. Like, the only other male ENTP I can think of that I've really talked to is Jack from World Socionic Society. And, you know, he was at an insurmountable disadvantage because he was wrong. I've got 30 years experience on him of learning how to be an ENTP successfully. And I'm a debate coach, etc., right? And I was trying to discursively do work, but he was trying to defend bullshit, so that didn't go particularly well. But female ENTPs and I seem to get along fine, but we're not really super buddy-buddy, though. Like, Og and I get along fine, but we're both just waiting for our turn to talk, you know? Yeah, the World Socionic's good. And, Becky and I got along fine until she revealed what a scumbag she was. You know, but I liked her. And I think I'm not above hanging out with people who aren't morally pure or something. I get it, we all sin and we all fuck up, but what I can't deal with is somebody who is incapable of being held accountable by anybody else. That's where evil comes from. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be fair, which means when you fuck up, others get to be like, you fucked up, you know, and you have to be like, oh, you're right, I'm sorry, I fucked up. You can't pretend like you're never wrong or refuse to acknowledge it or something like that, because then you're just destroying civilization. Do NI-DOMs usually like each other? They can communicate well with each other. Like INTJs and INFJs, they can communicate with each other more effectively than other people can communicate. Like, typically with them, you know? So, INFJs, they probably get along fine. You know, a lot of times it depends on the nature of the engagement. So, I have a lot of respect for my ESFP realtor in Mariposa. I respect the hell out of that man. Okay? You might think like, oh, Eric, you don't respect ESFPs. You gotta have if you're working together on something concrete. So why am I orange and red again? What the fuck is going on? Oh, there it is. There's green again. God. I don't want it to be orange or red. I hate those colors. They mean slowness and wrongness and badness. So, the one thing I don't like about mushrooms is that you can't really do them back-to-back days. Like, I'm tripping now, but not that much, you know? Or I'd just be better off just waiting a couple of days. It's just like, you have to eat so much more. Of course, I'm eating the weaker ones now. So, I got two kinds. One, Ghost PE. The other one's called Loving Teacher. Which, I gotta throw that as a funny name, you know? Loving Teacher. Come on now. I mean, I do find mushrooms very, what's the word? Loving, but I don't think they have. I don't think they really ever had a whole hell lot to teach me. I was on mushrooms a little bit that night, yeah. She didn't have very much, so she gave us what she had, which was nice of her, and I appreciated it. I was tripping a little bit, you know, it was nice. The thing is, mushrooms make me feel better than normal. Just, even if I'm not really tripping very hard. It's just a serotonin thing, I think, you know. Well, last night I was tripping pretty hard. And that was pretty good. It's like, that's what I'm looking for, is some a little bit more in that range. But I gotta say, I was reading this thing the other day. Mushrooms have to stay regular. They come down from mushroom stocks? Not at all. That's not true at all. There's nothing bad about mushrooms. It's like, it's all good except for the fact that you can't eat them all the time or else they don't do anything to you. You have to weigh. It's like the tolerance is just so high. It's not all bad. It just requires self-discipline, which I don't like and don't particularly have, you know. You're probably listening on your phone, though. Yeah. I was just complaining about how I ate more mushrooms today, but granted the other kind, and I am tripping, but it's like, I guess, you just have to obey the mushroom guys and wait longer. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Are you tripping?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. You probably ate last night too.
Yeah, I did.
Come on, kitty. You probably ate less because you were probably basing it on what was it yesterday and last night and stuff, you know. Come on, kitty.
8.5 stems.
That's pretty good. Those lemon t-shirts are a little bit bigger mushrooms than the ghost bee. Come inside, kitty. I'm closing this door again.
Yes, meow.
It's cold outside, so you
Yeah,
have to
it is.
pick inside or outside. Are you coming in or out? I'm closing this. Fine, you're staying outside. Well, I might open it again when it's time to smoke, but for now, it's getting closed. I mean, I don't find it even depressing at all when I come down from mushrooms. It's kind of a slight wistfulness, like, oh, I wish that had lasted longer. But, Rachel, did you get a new coat?
It is new. Thank you for noticing. I mean,
Rachel, I love your new coat.
it's like not really that new.
I'm sorry, I didn't really comment on it. I did note at some point that you had this coat and that you previously didn't, and I assumed you got it because you're going someplace where it's cold, you know?
Yeah, that is why.
And
I did.
but I didn't comment on it, I think. Would
You
you
don't have to.
Would you have preferred if I said I like your new coat?
No, not necessarily. I bought this for warmth, so.
I do like it.
Thanks.
I think it's a great coat.
Thanks.
I think you have excellent taste in clothes.
Thank you.
But I usually don't say anything because I guess, well, I know why I don't say anything. Because you're going to think that I'm saying you're spending too much money. That's what I think. So that's what I'm saying about your new clothes, because I don't want you to be thinking like I'm trying to bust you for buying shit you need and be subtle about it, you know? So I guess that's why I don't. Maybe? I think so. The Chronicles of the Code. So maybe ESTJ. Who's maybe ESTJ? Who's maybe ESTJ? Who's maybe ESTJ? Is it that guy? Who's maybe an E? STJ. Who is ESTJ? Oh, the most disciplined type. Well, with hate, probably yes.
And then
ESTJ, maybe he's a tie, I don't know. But I haven't really known. I mean, you don't know ENTJs.
Yeah.
They're too busy working and doing things that are not involving you. No, money doesn't grow on trees at all. It's just, there's some necessary expenses that go along with what's happening with us right now, you know?
Hello, Silver X Alice.
And it's not like this period of time represents an equilibrium. It's a period of state change. So, like, you know, funeral expenses, for example, are a one-time expense. Rachel's been in need of buying shit for a long time because we were super broke for several years in terms of clothes and stuff like that, you know. And she certainly wasn't equipped for cold weather, clothing wise, you know. Come on. I don't like spending money. I don't like buying objects, for sure. But I also, I just know that certain,
Yeah.
like, you know, there's no way of getting around the cost of that pod, for example. The every other way of trying to do it is more expensive and less efficient. So there was no getting around the cost of being out of this house for a week. Now, we could have done it a little bit cheaper, but we didn't do it expensive till the last night, you know. And there's just, it's like, you have to make some tough choices. This estate had a lot of stuff in it that potentially had value, like at an estate sale. If we hold the estate sale ourselves, we get all the money, right? But if you get these estate sale people to come in, they do all the work, and we get some of the money. Maybe if it goes over a certain amount, you know. But it's a lot of work to move all the shit out of this house. It's like, it was a lot of work just for me to move the small amount of shit we're moving to Mariposa out of this house. And right now, these expenses are necessary to facilitate selling this house, which will free up more liquid equity. So, yeah, Rachel bought a new coat. I don't want her to feel bad about it. Our whole relationship, we felt bad about spending money, and we still do, you know. But I'm not going to try to make her feel worse about it. It's not like either of us feel good about going through money we need to last us a long time. But I also, you need to live some, and there's a constant competition between the present and the future for resources. There's maps of like, okay, well, in the future I'll be earning some money again rather than just dealing with all this shit, right? So I won't just have a negative cash flow. But that's like, okay, well, how much exactly? Well, it's hard to say. So you gotta make a lot of decisions in incomplete information. Is it a TE thing? Or INFJ is goal driven? What do you think? Chris, what do you want? I don't see her as being very goal driven, but I guess it depends somewhat on. What do you consider a goal?
Yeah, like,
Go ahead.
like I'll set a goal for myself to like, okay, my hair's feeling a little greasy, so I set a goal in my head to take a shower in the morning. That's the kind of goal setting I do.
I think even the most amazing feats of persistent self-discipline she exercises, I don't think they're driven by having established them as a goal first.
No.
But, the thing is, we were listening to all this TE shit for a while in the car. It was really, I think, an ENFJ, but could have been an ENTJ. Regardless, it had a lot to do with it was like how to be successful or something. I guess would be the general category of commentary. It wasn't especially specific. The lack of specificity made me think it was an ENTJ, maybe. Well, either one, ENFJ or ENTJ, is going to be lax of specificity, but the focus on the F's as absolute values more than the T's, I think. So, anyway, but this guy, he was saying like, you have to, if you want to be, there's the 5% and the 95%. The 95% of people who are basically lost, which means they're not, they're somehow, they haven't mastered this skill or whatever of being professional in such a way that you are one of those 5% of the most successful people. And the thing is, he was willing even to define success. He defined it as movement toward a worthy ideal or something like that. But, which is, and he even sort of operationalized the definition. He then used it to do something. I don't remember it that well, you know. But, what's that sound? I guess it's just sirens. Okay, but the like, okay, you listen to those things with me. What was your takeaway? Like, if you were going to nutshell his point, what was it? I mean, he had multiple points, obviously, across multiple videos, but, like, try to nutshell that guy's message for me. Earl Nightingale, I think is his name.
To live life successfully.
What I mean, like, to live life successfully, meow, meow, meow. I want the meow, meow, meow part.
To live life successfully in a great way while being positive and overcoming the negative thoughts in your mind.
Okay. So, thank you for that. To translate it into the form that I wanted, which is not necessarily better than the form you provided, is to be successful, be positive, don't be negative, and like, act like the person you want to be.
Yeah.
Act like you already are the person you want to be.
Yeah. I think he said talked about the amount of people around you. And the more people that you have around you, that means the more successful you are. I was like, what? No.
He said a lot of different things, but you know what? He did a pretty good job of like organizing his speeches. I remember at the end of one of them, he summarized his points. The problem was he had too many points. Right? It was like, I was like, oh great, thank you for summarizing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is too many points now to be a good summary, you know?
Thank you, Miss Fortune and Eliana Diaz.
A little late for the Avatar Extended Universe. Is it? I don't know what that means. I have no idea.
The movie that's coming out.
Oh, Avatar the movie. Okay, now I know. Now it makes sense. But I was thinking like avatars that people use. How good did the new Matrix do? Don't know. Didn't know there was a new Matrix. Haven't seen it. Might. If it's on a streaming service we have. Yeah.
I've actually never seen the full,
Have you never seen the first Matrix?
only bits and pieces.
Guys, is there anybody else here who has not seen the first Matrix besides Rachel?
No, it's terrible, and I'm a movie
And there's nothing
lover.
terrible about it. It's just.
I'm a movie lover, though.
But it's just very.
Do you think that I
What?
would have seen it already?
It's fun. It's fun and exciting that you haven't seen that. You only seen parts 2. My eyes are bad. Because it really looked like you said, I've only seen pants. But you know, you must have seen something other than pants. You can't have just seen nothing but pants. Your whole life.
Matrix, so I've always seen pants.
Yeah, I watched The Matrix, but I only saw pants.
Like, what?
I was just, you know, well, what I did is I had it on the computer screen, like zoomed in on the pants. I had to write my own software to train it to follow pants at all times.
Pretty high tech.
Yeah. Did the Matrix go woke? I mean, I hope so. It was pretty woke the first time. It had a black guy
woke.
in it.
I think it didn't lose its wokeness. I read a Times Magazine article about the Matrix and how it held up to today. Like,
Does it still have Keanu Reeves in it?
The magazine talked about
have?
the first one, but it was talking about the first one because of the new one coming up.
Does the new one still have Keanu Reeves in it?
Yeah.
Is he playing the same character?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is it just like a remake of the first one except now he's older? It's just an older actor playing the same character, same movie, everything?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think even Trinity.
So, okay, but I want to get this straight. So that it's not like 30 years later in Matrix time. It's like they're doing the exact same movie with the same actors, except now they're older. That would be weird. That would be.
Yeah.
It's like there's no references at all in the movie to the fact that they did this before, like 20 years ago or whatever. I know, Mr. Bobby, it was just a joke. It was just a hilarious joke. My favorite kind of joke. My favorite kinds of jokes are hilarious ones.
You make hilarious jokes, Eric.
Thanks. My favorite one of this trip was, you cannot call Mars the red planet anymore. You have to call it the Commanders. That was my favorite joke of the trip. It's such a good joke. I'm sorry.
It's alright. AI got smarter since Lemon Melon. Mr. Bobby says, in the new Matrix, it's apparently in a video game. I don't know, some dumb idea. They did a lot of self-referencing.
Well, see, then that makes it dumb. But if they just did exactly the same movie, you know, ideally with like even the same kinds of level of CGI or whatever, you know, to try to do it exactly the same. But just now with all the same people.
Oh my gosh.
Again, but just now they're just older.
Then they have to make Keanu Reeves do that back floating thing.
He can still do it. He's Keanu Reeves, okay? He wins.
I just want to see it again.
He wins, apparently, from what everybody follows him. Apparently he wins like coolest guy of the year.
Yeah,
award or
like
something.
every year.
Every year, so.
But you know, he used to be a big meme. There was Sad Keanu.
Sad Keanu.
Yeah, he was like sitting on a bench, like sad, feeding pigeons.
Mm-hmm.
And someone took a picture of him and they called him Sad Keanu, and it was like a meme.
Makes me sad to even think about.
But he's doing great now.
I didn't. Why was he sad at the time?
I don't know.
Probably
Maybe
because
he
they
wasn't
hadn't.
doing any work.
Probably because they hadn't come up with this great Matrix
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Just completely remake the first Matrix.
Elena says, "Hey Rachel, of the best friends you've had, is there a type trend? Effie Doms. Maybe Essie, too. Essie Dom. Not ESTP so much,
You seem to
unfortunately.
get along with ISFJs pretty well.
Yeah. I had a best friend in high school who was ISFJ.
But you know, your sister is a good example of you getting along with an ISFJ. You hear a lot about her dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's ISFJs for you. I love them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking any shit about ISFJs, but well,
That is a good example.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is that sound?
What? That?
Yeah, that.
It's
see.
my arm.
I thought it was coming from over there. So.
Oh.
My ears played ventriloquist on me. Your coworker is an ISTJ. He literally is a walking toolbox. I was like that. ISTJs are freaking heroes. Is what they are. They're incredible heroes. You know, it's like Cameron is such a freaking hero.
Yeah.
Are you coming in or not? Why do you want to play door standing,
I know.
kid?
It's cold outside. Just come in.
Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Meow. So why don't we go hang out
Meow.
inside? I think is what he said.
Yeah.
Well, because it's not any more comfortable in there than it is out here, kitty.
Yeah.
It's just, well, I guess you get on the bed and be more comfortable. We're not quite ready to go to bed yet.
Thank you.
Yes, you're a wonderful kitty, man. Yes, you are. A wonderful, wonderful kitty, man.
Hey, Mac Daddy. Hey, CJ O'Connell.
Hey, Mac Daddy. Hey, CJ O'Connell. Oh, yeah.
Mr. Bobby says Will Smith was originally meant to be Neo in The Matrix, apparently.
Wow. Okay, you want to go out this door? Why do you want to go out this door? Just to be difficult? Now you want to come back into this door. You just want doors to be open.
So I think too.
But I don't
It's not
want
that
doors.
kind of weather.
The cat and I are in disagreement about what state the doors should be in. The cat says open. Personally, I say closed.
2 against 1.
Yeah, so he's outvoted. Sorry, Trouble, you got outvoted.
Sorry, Trumps.
Will Smith. You know what I say about Will Smith? Will Smith, Schmel Smith. That's what I say about Will Smith. Hello, oh magnificence. Oh, the glorious magnificence of King. Isn't he wonderful?
He is so wonderful.
That was a pretty sick burn. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of like a couple of his songs, but they don't even really. I just end up skipping them. They're too long and or too Will Smithy.
Meow. Oh yes. Oh yes. Mommy and Daddy love Trouble Bubbles.
What a fucking dumbass ENFJ thing to do. Will Smith became a Hindu now after the Oscars slap. That'll fix things. Now I'm a Hindu. Now I have a cow live in my house with me.
So bad about like accepting that you like fucked up. Like,
He did not know how to be accountable. You gotta just man up and say, I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I can't even conceive of doing that myself, so it's hard for me to try to explain it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you gotta just say,
Even say it as a blackout moment, you know? You just weren't thinking.
you just say, I just made a catastrophic judgment error regarding how this was gonna play.
Yeah.
Basically.
And then
That's
people,
the truth, you know?
Yeah, and then people would be like, oh, you know, I've definitely been in those shoes before.
I thought this was gonna play well.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna play well.
And I was catastrophically wrong.
And I was catastrophically wrong. Oh man, have I been there?
He thought I was gonna look like, hey, he stands up for his woman or something, but
Yeah.
this makes you look like a fucking entitled, like, so removed from societal norms by your stardom that you lost all contact with reality, you know?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's an SE thing. I think I think it's SE third, you know? Like, I'm wrong about FE shit all the time. You know, I think this is gonna make me sound cool, but it makes people hate me, you know? So, he has the same thing going on with SE if he's an ENFJ, which he is, so. No, SE Doms wouldn't do that. SE Doms are much more masters of SE than that. SE Tool, ISTP, well, they wouldn't do that because they wouldn't be engaged that much with what's happening ideationally. They just don't have that much awareness of FE, you know? Not if you're that super isolated by your stardom. I mean, I think my interpretation of it is spot on, basically. He so surrounds himself with people who fawn, and he's got this sociopathic wife, and and he lost all contact with regular reality. He thought that the world was going to act like these people around him do. And that Chris Rock dealt with it. That was the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chris Rock dealt with it really well.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's not like a totally smart move to make a joke about a bald woman. It was probably a bad joke, but it doesn't warrant a slap.
Wait, is that what he said? Like Will Smith's wife was bald?
Yeah, so yeah. And
Is Will Smith's wife actually bald?
yeah, she's losing her hair from alopecia.
From what?
She has alopecia.
Is that like the Michael Jackson disease? Isn't that the disease that they said Michael Jackson had? But he didn't have any real disease. I think it's a made up thing that stars have. But they're getting weird shit done to them and it's fucking them up, you know? I don't think Chris Rock is very funny at all. But
The joke was funny, and G.I. Jane was, in my opinion, a little misfortune. That's funny. When I shaved my head, that's what Eric said, that I was G.I. Jane. But it was just a bad move.
that joke's important. But
Well, yeah, the whole thing,
the thing is, I don't think he's funny anyway. But that's not the point, right? The point is, you don't get to hit people because you don't like their jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know what he is, but I don't think he's funny. But I do think he's smart. So, you know. I'm sure he has I'm sure he has some good jokes somewhere in his body of work. I just don't find him funny in general. Like, I don't know. Like, I do find Dave Chappelle funny before he even starts talking, you know? There's just something funny about him. I have the opposite of that with Chris Rock. The point is, I don't care if I find Chris Rock funny or not. Yeah, well, I don't know about new Dave Chappelle. I haven't seen anything, if he's done anything since back in the day. I don't know. I found him funny when that show was on, you know. Clone people. Do we have clone people now? They replace the regular version of themselves with a clone?
There's what do they call them? The PVN, CPR.
Oh, you mean NPCs?
NPCs, yeah. So, I mean, clones.
Wow, I mean, NPCs are very different than clones. Not because, like, if people are being replaced with clones of themselves, then that provokes a lot of questions about the mechanics of this whole operation. Like, okay, who's producing clones of people?
Like Elon Musk.
Okay, the next obvious question. why? Why are they? What to what benefit
It's
is
so
it them
funny.
to say, for example, take you away and replace you with a perfect clone of yourself?
You know who talks about that and does a great job of being like, it's not a good job to like, like it sounds cool, but then it gets crazy cloning stuff, is Rick and Morty. There was an episode where like Morty fucks up and he like leaves like the something open, and what it does is keeps on cloning Ricks, so there's like millions of different kinds of Ricks, and they just get like fucked more and more like.
Well, see, that's one possibility of the clone notion, is that it's like Xerox, where your clones get degraded over time. But what I want to know, though, is what do they want the real Rachel for? They must want her for something, or else they wouldn't take her away and replace her with an exact clone of her, and if they're doing this to a lot of people, like, is this some weird HR department trick or something? Like, if they can make a clone, why don't they just keep the clone? Why do they need the real one?
Damn, I don't know.
So the cloning idea really, I think that one doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But NPCs are different. Okay, those are non-player characters. They're not
I think
clones.
Keanu Reeves is a non.
They're not clones of anybody. They're just simulations of people.
That's Keanu Reeves.
You think Keanu Reeves is
Yeah.
an NPC?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's no
Does a
reason
good
why a
job of
super
it.
famous person couldn't be an NPC.
Yeah.
But does he seem? I mean, I always
He
thought he
seems
was a terrible actor from the get-go. I always thought this guy is not acting very well.
He's not.
But for some reason, even though he's not acting very well, it's like you're fine with it.
Yeah, because everything else is around him. He chooses good scripts.
He's just, it's like you like him, and you like him, and his bad acting is fine, therefore, or something,
Yeah.
And it doesn't even like bother you when you're watching it in the movie.
Does anyone know, is Keanu Reeves Canadian?
That's a good question, Rachel. That's a question we may never know the answer to. It would require Googling something. And, boy, I am so thirsty. My mouth is as dry as the bottom of the desert. The bottom of the desert is the driest part.
It's so dry.
Rachel and I are going to have to go out and get some more beverages. We're a little bit, you might call, beverage people. We're pretty into beverages.
Yeah.
Ideally, those Arizona iced teas. Those are 99 cents for a big iced tea, Those are a good deal, and they are good.
Mm-hmm.
Lemon teas are good. Half and halves are good.
Mm-hmm.
They, at the Arizona IT factory. I've got it all going on.
Yeah,
I really do.
I really do.
And I want to give them an award. A plaque or a trophy that says
Second place.
second place. Oh my God. Oh, I had a horrible moment today. They had the additional boxes of shit that I just was hoping they were going to get rid of. That they insist that we have to keep because they're like pictures. So we have so many pictures, it's insane. Anyway, and in this box, there was a trophy, and I picked it up. And it was second place in Spar. Well, Rachel was there, I should say. Second place? Come on now. I mean, second's pretty good at each tournament.
Yeah, it is.
Debate tournament, whatever, but.
Yeah, that's silver.
That's just a story of my life.
I found it very fitting, too.
Second place.
It's a good statue. I mean, trophy.
Actually, the thing is, but that's the trophy that we have, right? I won a lot of tournaments in high school. I got first place a lot of times, but that's the trophy we have. Second place.
Oh my God.
I think the event that I actually won the most times was probably impromptu. In impromptu speaking, they give you a topic, you've got 7 minutes or whatever to prep and speak. That's how they do it now. And you know, people usually have a note card or something with them. It's sort of like an outline of the ideas after they give the topic. So you get a topic, you have like spend 2 minutes prepping, and you spend like 5 minutes talking. A lot of times I would just forego the prep, you know. I'd be like, this is done? Okay, I'm ready to go. But usually, I would write down maybe like three things that I wanted to be a structure or something. And I wouldn't, if I did that, I wouldn't have to even look at the card usually. I remember it, but regardless. That was, it just seemed like this is a competition event. Like, this is, what could possibly be easier than this? And like, at the time, I didn't get that, like, anything about cognitive functions, right? I was like, how is this, what even is this thing? Is it just like, it's like a competition of standing or something? It's, but in fact, people can't do it for shit, you know? People are so bad at it that in current impromptu competitions, basically, coaches have them do a prepared speech that they pull out certain parts of it and change it according to what the topic is.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how bad people are at it. No, I didn't hear about him. I'm not that caught up in. I'm not that. I'm not that contemporaneously engaged in debate. So it's like right now I'm not following it at all, you know. But is he from Harvard? Does Harvard Westlake have a middle school? Oh, he's freshman at Harvard Westlake now, and in middle school he took home 2 middle school TOCs. Yeah, in fact, he got 2 TOC bids already. He's already qualified for TOC. But I'm not coaching him right now. But you know, that happens to my debaters. I don't know. It's like I work with them a lot in middle school. We go on to just do great things in high school. But yeah, he and his policy partner for Polytechnic are qualified for TOC already. Pretty impressive. But they keep losing to Scott Weir's kids because I'm not coaching them. I gave Jeffrey the advice, but his partner's really running the show, and you know, he's a pig-headed debater like us all, so he thinks he knows best. Why did kamikaze pilots wear helmets? That is a fantastic question. Absolutely fantastic. The answer: well, I mean, I guess it would be like, well, you tell him to take off the helmet. No, you tell him to take it off. You know? Like, he's going to go crash into this thing. Nobody's going to want to tell him to take off the helmet. That's basically the thing. So just let him have the helmet. It makes him feel better. It's fine. Kind of dark, actually. When I start thinking about it. Well, it's like if it had like won them the war or something. But it's just, you know. No, I wasn't that boy Klaus. I was not at all, actually. Strangely, I thought. I mean, there was a period of time when I was really interested in 9/11, but I don't know if that corresponded or not. But regardless, what I ended up concluding is that there was a massive misinformation campaign that made it impossible to really to figure out anything specific. You know, it was a massive misinformation campaign of all kinds of different things with bits of truth and lots of bullshit, right? So, and it was designed to discredit anybody's legitimacy who said this is clearly something planned and executed by some parties within the U.S. government. You know, it's hard to say what exactly was going on because of the massive flood of bullshit that hit the internets. You know, that was not authentically generated by people who are like just bad at who are just bad at investigating something that needed an investigation, just incredibly bad and sloppy at it. I don't buy it for a second. That was a coordinated misinformation campaign. And it's like, not like I'm saying that shit about anything else, right? You don't hear me discrediting normally. That shit was as shady as you could possibly get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree. And I agree too. I think there's some shady stuff going on.
Yeah, well, it's like when you have, as part of your government, a branch that specializes in militarized conspiracies, not unsurprisingly, you're gonna get some, right? No, that boy Klaus, I not. If that was so fucking slapdash, like, no way, dude. No way. I look, I'm somebody who feels very clearly about 9/11 was, and I feel just as clearly that COVID was not. That was oops, plus stupid, plus people certain parties probably trying to avoid accountability, like the Chinese, for example. There was no, and then it was just everybody, and it's like, who are we going to turn to for information? Basically, this is what I think happened, but I can't prove this or anything, okay? I think that they released a bioweapon by accident. And they thought it was going to be a lot worse than it was. The only reason they freak out so much at the beginning like this is because the Chinese accidentally released a bioweapon, and they thought it was going to kill a lot of people. Like, they thought it was going to kill way more than it did, you know? You may say, well, it did kill a lot of people. Well, I mean, come on. Yes, but the thing is, it was too tailored to. It's like if you wanted to thin the population with a bioweapon, but you wanted to be somehow compassionate about it, you'd have it kill off just the old people who were already sick, right? So it's super engineered. If you got COVID, like we both had it, it's the strangest disease strangest cold coronavirus or whatever you want to call it, I've ever had.
Me too.
It was so strange.
Yeah, I lost my smell, my sense of smell.
It did all kinds of weird things to me. Like, it makes you really sleepy. It makes you lose your sense of taste and smell. It makes you. Well, I started smelling this constant smell of Band-Aids. It was like awful, It's weird. I mean, this is again, this is just my personal speculative opinion. I don't have good enough evidence of any sort to say this is what happened. It's just what I believe to be the best explanation for things. Is there was a bioweapon that was intended to be population thinning, or they didn't mean to let it go.
Mm-hmm. It's like one of those emails where it's like a chain and then you end up sending it to the person who you're talking about. Like, that's what China did.
I attribute the reasons for our response to accident plus certain parties with a lot of narrative influence believing it to be a bioweapon and treating it as such. A bioweapon that's designed to thin the population and going, oh fuck, we let this out. And then it turned out to do its job, sort of, but nobody anticipated that everybody was gonna then freak out in the way that they did, and you have all these independent jurisdictions doing everything differently, independently, no rule of law, fucking nothing that makes any sense at all. Just, there's this great meme that just is scribbled on it once. It's our COVID policy, just insanity all around the world, executed independently by all these individual parties, all of whom are driven by the same bullshit reasoning, which is this: if we don't overreact and people die, they're gonna blame us. Well, I mean, the younger you are, the less bad it is. But in general, it seems. But Rachel and I got it pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
My dad got it just like, I'm surprised it didn't kill him, because he wouldn't go to the doctor. You think, like, okay, I'm supposed to make him go to the doctor, right? Somehow. But this is my dad we're talking about, and you did not make that man do things, okay? It's just, he was not makeable. It scares me even now to think of trying to make him do something he didn't want to do. you know. It probably caught us too. So, I mean, it's might as well, really. COVID as close to killed him as it could have. You know, it caused him to pass out from a high fever, break a couple of ribs, lose all of his mobility. It impacted his vision. He had a hot fever of 102 and something. He was
God.
and wouldn't and was like twitching his eye. And when I was telling Dad, and keep in mind I was tripping balls at the time. Oh, I said, Dad, look, this really doesn't look good. I think you really need to go to the hospital. And he had these cogent explanations for it. No, this is because I'm having double vision from this eye surgery. And the reason I keep doing this is because of some other thing he told me. I was just like, what am I supposed to do about this? This guy's not gonna listen. What am I supposed to, like, fucking forcibly carry him to the doctor or something? My dad would never forgive me for something like that, you know? Anyway, doesn't matter now. As I said at dinner last night to Rachel, like, God, why are we so lucky? Who did I have to kill to get all this fabulous pink restaurant that we're at? Oh, that's right, my dad. He said, I didn't even have to kill him. He did it himself. No, he's dead, Becky. I mean, you know, that's usually what happens after you shoot yourself in the head. I mean, I guess he's okay now. He's no longer blind, deaf, broken ribs,
Yeah.
can't pee,
COVID cough.
can't poo properly, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that sense, he's okay. But he's also dead, so there's that. No, I'm past being sad about it, okay? It's like, I'm regretful that last year was so difficult for him, and I'm more or less forgiving myself for my not doing a better job, you know. It was a long time ago now, and I freaked out obviously when it happened, you know. I didn't even know I was freaking out, but obviously at some point I realized I was freaking out a little bit, you know. But it was not a pretty. That whole thing was not a pretty thing. No, we don't have a scrapbook recapped about proud moments from those times. Okay? We weren't scrapbooking that period of time. Because it was volatile, chaotic, painful, a lot of horrible things, right? But there was a day at a certain point, I don't remember exactly when it was, where I realized, like, okay, well, I guess we're past it enough now. It's like normalcy has returned when I wasn't looking, kind of thing. I just thought it was funny. I like doing a little dark humor now and again. Becky, I didn't mean to, you know. I didn't even think about it. I guess I sort of he used you in the dark humor thing there,
I laughed out of like disbelief. Oh
but I mean, it's just it's like okay, what are you gonna do with life? You know, what are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna let it be all dark and serious, or are you gonna make some jokes about it? You just gotta make some jokes, really, because otherwise, where's the hilarity gonna come from? I am so thirsty. I could just drink anything. I'm so thirsty.
we should get drinks then.
We really should go get drinks, I guess.
You want me to hold down the fort?
I'm just gonna go to the gas station and
Yeah.
get a couple of Arizonas.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, I'll forget. I'm just gonna get my wallet and the keys. And then I'm gonna.
Meow meow. Our cat's name is Trouble. Eric's dad named him. We call him Trouble Bubbles, Squire Bubblingtons. I feel that cold. It's not that cold anymore. I like layering up. I don't know. It's pretty chilly in here. Luckily, we had Cameron combined to feed the cats. He helped with a lot of stuff, actually. We're very grateful. Yeah, Mr. Bobby was nice. Very nice. The Madonna Inn was really fun. What do you mean there's food dispensers? Oh, for cats? Yeah, but they're indoor-outdoor cats. So we just got Cameron to help out with the cats. What's Jackbox? Me and Eric play games sometimes. I don't know, Mr. Bobby. I don't know. I haven't seen either France or Argentina play, so I can't say. As fast asks, have you ever had a dog? Yes. I have had 3 dogs. 3 dogs. Yeah. But 4 cats. Yeah, I like animals. How should I say? Yeah, Eric likes to play games. Well, like poker is a game. It's gambling. We played the game of life and that was fun. We didn't like playing Minecraft. Sounds fun, Karma's Pim. I can't really explain it. It's like a party game thing. Using a closed computer and phones. I like using my phone, so that's something that I would be into. Oh yeah, Among Us too. That was a game he used to play as well. Yeah, he plays games. Delilah still plays World of Warcraft. She's like pretty high up there in rank. I've seen Bridgerton, Tim Bowler. I thought it was okay. No, I like Switch, but we don't have one. No, I never got him one. You play World of Warcraft too, Miss Fortune? That's cool. That'd be funny if like you and Delilah like crossed paths. Delilah also used to play, I don't know if she still plays it, Pokemon Go. Second season is better? Interesting. Well, I don't think that I can even get Eric to watch the first season, but I'll watch the second season on my own when I have time. I like the dresses, the costumes and stuff. I like Edwardian fashion, and I like dandies, but I don't know. I just like I'll check out the second season. Oh, I don't know. Karma's pen. Starting on the second, honestly, meow. He's coming back. Daddy's coming back. He just wanted to get cigarettes and some drinks. Well, and I don't know about the cigarettes, but definitely drinks. I'll start watching the second, and if he, like comes in and he watched it. Oh my God, Eliana Diaz. Yes, I have watched 90 Day Fiance, and honestly, I'm traumatized by some of the episodes. It's fucking not. Oh my God, 90 Day Fiance is like traumatizing. Like, oh my God. Like, I think about that one with the lady who had like money problems. Meow, meow. I'm gonna give Trouble some attention right now. Meow. We can go and look around. He's coming back. Go. Go. What's your tail? Meow. I'm back. I'm better than ever. See, that's the thing, I don't know what Bridgerton is about. It's like about Edwardian times and the courting rituals and there's someone who writes about the goings on of like an upper middle class family. And they have daughters, so they have to get them married off. And one of them is like 16 or something, maybe 18, I don't remember. Like, but she's in her teens, her late teens. And he'll be back. Come on, come in. Come on. He's coming back. It's too cold. I'm not leaving it open. Come on. Oh, yes, Squire Bubblington. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Come on. Oh, yes, oh, yes.
Okay. So, there's something I want to talk about. I want to talk about this 50 grams of mushrooms thing. I don't think I ever finished it. I started talking at the beginning of this thing and I think I got distracted. I was reading this thing. It's like microdosing, macrodosing. Begins basically at 5 grams, 3.5 to 5 grams, something like that. Up to 50 grams or more. Who would eat 50 grams of mushrooms on a clean head? Like, is anybody ever done that? Really? Has anybody ever really done that? Eating 50? It's 2 full ounces of mushrooms almost. Like, what would that even be like? It's impossible to say. Like, could you even? I don't even know. It seems to me like by the time you finish eating the first ounce of mushrooms, you'd be already just like tripping pretty fucking hard. And then, even though it's like, normally mushrooms takes a little while to kick in, but if you ate a whole ounce of them, and then once you've done that whole ounce, you've got another whole ounce to eat. Okay? I would not recommend doing that. I don't know.
I would not recommend doing that
I do not know who would think that was a good idea. But that is not me who thinks that. Would you like this or this? You've got 2 of each. You've got choice to make. You've got choice to make. Yeah, choice to make. She's got a choice to make between Kearns and Arizona. I too have a choice to make. Kearns for me as well. Cheers. I will do that in a minute. I will demonstrate what it looks like to eat 50 grams of mushrooms. He just continues to hear longer. It's kind of like the scarf pulling out trick of eating mushrooms.
Okay, so Tim Bulwer is watching this show called Bridgerton, and the way that he describes it is up there.
I hear there's a lot of sex in that show. That's what I hear. Meowsers. Have you watched 90 Day Fiancé? I know Eric can't stand it. You're right about that.
It's a terrible
I
show.
would not watch any of that
It
show.
made me so sad.
Why are they 90 Day Fiancés anyway? Why not just be whatever number of day fiancés?
I don't know.
Because that would make a good show. Have we watched?
It's like people from like different countries, and in order for them to like become a citizen, they have to get married in 90 days.
That's kind of just.
It's
like.
sad.
Like, okay, who thought this bureaucratic process would make a good show? Bureaucracy at work. Wow, I missed a lot of text here. Okay. You guys really started talking once I left, huh? When I left, I guess. What's the temp in LA? Cold. Cold as death. How many do you have? 5.
I told you to come back. Meow.
What? Rachel, what did you guys do about the cats when you went away? Cameron took care of them.
Meow. Meow.
Who do you think will win the
Meow.
World Cup, France or Argentina? So those two advanced, huh? I didn't get to see those games because they were both travel days for me, unfortunately. But, France. Well, I mean, I picked them at the beginning. I said it was either going to be France or Spain. Well, Spain proved flash in the pan. But France has got that Mbappe guy. He is so good at soccer. If you want to watch somebody who's really good at soccer, just watch that Mbappe guy from France. Man, it's like he must have played a lot of soccer. You're shocked that Eric likes to play games? I mean, do I like to play games? I like to play some games, sometimes, I guess.
That's what I said.
Yeah. It's not like I'm a gamer. I can't really explain it. It's like a party game thing, using a host computer and phones, fax machines, and more. That's pretty fun, I'm saying. There's like a lot of different kinds of communication going on concurrently. It's like, first you fax me, then I'll video conference you. Then we communicate via telegram. Didn't you get him a Switch, Rachel? She doesn't need to hit me with a Switch. I'm not that disobedient. The second season is better. I absolutely love everything about Bridgerton, aside from the interracial situation. Oh no, not an interracial situation. The interracial situation is a good name for a song, though. Listen, girl, I think you know what we need to make tonight. We need to make an interracial situation. Oh, no, not anything else. The second, meowsers, the second to last word in my second to last comment. That's too much work. It really is. My mom always watches it. One of them is always so terrible. Sometimes the mail order, sometimes the shopper. One of them is always so terrible. And 90 Day Fiancé.
Oh my god, it really is terrible.
Like but they're saying is that one of the two people is always terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you hear about like marriage and stuff. It's just, we're just being in a good couple.
Well, Mr. Bobby says that 90 Day Fiancé is not historically accurate. So
It's not.
I'm surprised to learn that myself, but thank you for informing us. Romantic smut, drama, classy, Victorian, postmodern jukebox. In other words, people having sex in overly large clothes.
Yeah. So, would you like that?
Maybe. Depends. I
Alright.
was
Who's
pretty.
saying for?
You know what I found was what I really was interested in this morning. You were listening to. What was I really interested in? And enjoyed listening to. What was it? Do you remember?
Alan Watts.
No, the thing you were listening to.
What was I listening to?
You listening to this thing about like this person who talking about TikTok catching cheaters. or
Oh
whatever.
yeah.
That lady does a good job of that because I was super like, no, he did not.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I
That's
was,
entertaining
I was
stuff.
eating that shit up. That was just like very purient, but just super interesting. You just can't help but be like, and he said, he told her that, but he was lying because he was cheating the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
That was entertaining this morning. I liked that. I like that a lot more than I liked Alan Watts. Alan Watts has
It's
got
really
to
good.
be an ENFP. Oh my
The
god.
ones that I really like at first too is like makeup mistakes. People go to like the worst rated makeup artist in town.
That's a great video concept.
Yeah, isn't it?
It says, I feel bad for the makeup
I know, I
artist,
feel
but-
bad for makeup artists. You would enjoy it for sure. Meow, meow, meow.
It's the equivalent of B movie in romance.
Meow.
Oh god, Alan Watts is such an ENFP. ENFP philosophers types are just like, okay. ENFPs, you know who my hero is? It's Alex Madonna.
Yeah.
Now, I'm gonna go ahead and say he's an ENFP. He might have been an ESFP, I don't know, but yeah. Go ahead and say he's an ENFP. That's what ENFPs should be doing. They should be making hotels like that. They should not be talking to people about Eastern philosophy.
No.
It's just so. He thinks he's saying something that's of significance, but he's not saying a goddamn thing.
Mhm.
The thing is, I was listening to all these things this morning, but it's not like I like them, right? It's I'm just listening to it to see what it's all about, what they have to say. It's like I don't know what made me want to listen to all those things this morning. I never normally do. I guess I know what happened. I went to the coffee shop and I had my phone, my headphones, and I had my laptop. I had my laptop, but the counter at the coffee shop was not big enough. I should have gotten a table, but I wanted to sit at the counter because it looked so cute, you know. And I don't regret sitting at the counter. So even though it was like, I'm too tall to sit at the counter, my legs, the chairs were like too close to the thing here. So it was like my knees banged into the wall. I had to like spread my legs apart so I could sit there. I still don't regret sitting at that cute little counter. Because, you know, when it comes to my taste in things, sometimes my taste in things is extraordinarily gay. And, you know, I just love the shit out of that place.
Yeah, me too.
And that place is just so gay. It's like the gayest thing in the world, you know?
Mhm.
But I love it. The thing is, I don't like all gay things. Like, I don't like Liberace style. Like, that's too, like, I'm so gay rather than just, I'm so weird, which is like what this place was, you know. Alex Madonna was a strange guy, I guess. I want to eat a sandwich too.
Do you have any more?
Yeah, I barely ate any of my sandwich. I just gotta go get it. You want to go inside the house, kitty? What?
It is really good, actually. I have to say, I'm very grateful for it. Definitely gayer than San Francisco.
Okay. It sure is cold out there.
Yeah, it is.
It's about as cold as it gets in LA. You might say, aren't you guys moving someplace even colder? Yeah, but it's like when I go someplace that's cold, I expect it to be cold, you know, but this place, I don't expect it to be this cold. We're gonna get the same thing.
Yeah. What did we have? Meow.
I said we get the same
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah, we do. Meow. Meow.
A lot of times she just get whatever I get, you know.
Yeah.
That's NIFE. She didn't really care because SI is so unconscious and it's easier to just get what I get.
That's cool that babies can talk.
Meow. Meow. Oh, meow. Oh, meow. Oh, meow. Yes, mommy and daddy love Toro. Yes.
You know, I had a big crush on my cousin who died of brain cancer back when I was 14 years old. But she wasn't dying of brain cancer at the time. You know, that was a lot later. She died of brain cancer. Anyway, she wasn't related to me anyway, 'cause she was adopted. But it would not have been. That girl was not the sharpest tool in the shed. But, you know, it's like, I'm only 14, and she's like 16. And says, oh my. You go, I'm in love with this girl. Hello. Well, we didn't get married, needless to say.
I'm just lucky for me. Yeah.
Well, you know, if we had gotten married, I'd now be a widower. So, that's always really hot to chicks. Chicks love widowers. Oh, you're right. That's so adorable.
Yeah.
Here, let me have sex with you. That's what girls say to widowers.
Apparently.
No, no. I've never been a widower, but I've heard all about it. You know.
Yeah, I've heard that too. There's a Sex and the City episode about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Murphy's pretty good.
like some?
I would like some of these.
Ooh la la.
Mhm. So, anywho, that's why we lost all the paddles to the boat. I was at a gas station and myself. Eric, you don't know what you're doing. You are not in your element here. You're doing things, you know? It's unavoidable you're gonna feel a little disrupted by it, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna change my name lately to Penis Penis.
Penis, penis.
Because I want everybody to know what a penis I am. Twice. Poor Michael Penix Jr. You guys read about him? Heard about him? If you watch college football, you know about him, but
What happened? Or just poor Michael Phoenix because of his name.
yeah. His name is Penix is his last name.
Yeah.
What a terrible last name to have. Of course, he said it's pronounced Penix. We both know. We all know. It's pronounced Penix.
Just like Uranus is Uranus.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, you think about it, every time he uses his phone to write his own name, it autocorrects it to penis.
Sorry, trouble.
What do you want, Trouble? But it seems to me, I mean, whatever about this, right? But it seems to me that when I look at sports teams, it feels like their last names were randomly generated by like Madden, you know?
Yeah.
Like I never encounter anybody with the name. I'm not about football mostly, you know, There's some guy named Jack Whale Horse. You know, like who named that?
And then he's like bound to be on a football team, like.
Anyway, that's why I launched federal civil lawsuit against the NFL to reveal the truth about their fake named players.
I'm so glad. You're so tough.
Or like Chewy Chewy Chalupa. What kind of name is that? Chewy Chewy Chalupa?
Sorry.
I get it that he's like Polynesian or whatever, but is that really even a name?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a trend in general with more people having last names as first names and first names as last names? For example, somebody named Jackson Steve. I think that's happening around the world. You would have
It is.
what used to be a last name like Williamson Chad. That's their name.
Yeah.
How did that happen? When did first names become last names? Well, I am glad you had tri-tip for the first time recently, and that you enjoyed it, because prior to that, you'd never had it. Yeah, Roth bottom Chad.
Rock bottom Chad.
But he goes by the nickname of Booger. You know.
Yeah.
No, not Hitler Adolf. Not Mr. Booger.
No. That's totally like missing the point.
They're really adding a whole lot of other shit that we don't want to involve in that. Yeah, I'll have my son penis for a second. No junior allowed.
Yeah.
You gotta be the second. Well, there you go. That's a new name. It's a new style name. Oh, kitty man.
Oh, kitty man.
Your special kitty ways are constantly astonishing me again.
Kitty man.
You're welcome, Boo Boo Peregrines. You are welcome. Yeah. Those Doritos. Well, I almost didn't get a bag of them. I was like, do I really need Doritos? I could save a little bit of money here. Maybe we have. But I asked Rachel, I think it's when I asked you, how many of those other chips do we have left? She said not that many. And we had these chips. As we were eating in the car. There's plenty of these left there.
Sorry.
That's fine. I don't regret getting the Doritos though. I really don't. They were quite good. I was a little surprised that Rachel, she went Cool Ranch.
Yeah. That's what I was feeling.
Sometimes you're feeling nacho, other times you're feeling like a Cool Rancher.
Yeah.
Cool Ranch. Cool Ranch is an interesting flavor name, you know. So, I mean, are they supposed to taste like ranch dressing?
I think so.
Do they taste like ranch dressing?
No.
Do they taste like Cool Ranch dressing? And what do Cool Ranch Doritos taste like? That is a question of the day. They do not taste like Anderson Phoenix. Is it possible for INTP to develop SE? Any advice? Well, I'll give you the advice that Mark Twain gave me today. The key is do at least one thing you don't want to do every day. If you can get one thing you don't want to do done, then that's about all you can ask of yourself. These are good chips. I like these kind of chips.
No.
You know why they're good? Because they're from Cape Cod, which is the fanciest of all the cods.
Meow.
Rachel was just a stone's throw away from Cape Cod. She was on the East Coast too. Actually, how far away from you, from Cape Cod, were you?
I don't know. Not that far though.
Is Cape Cod in New York?
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't like it so much. I thought maybe it was Maine, New York, Massachusetts. People who make these chips are probably Red Sox fans.
Yeah, they definitely are.
Well, my mouth it doesn't taste any Red Sox in it, so I guess it's good enough.
Yeah.
Covered Bridge chips from New Brunswick are the best kettle cooked chips you can get. Covered Bridge chips from New Brunswick. That's pretty boutique.
New Brunswick, New Jersey?
Is there a New Brunswick in New Jersey?
I think so.
Was the original Brunswick in Old Jersey?
New Brunswick, Canada. Where is where is that?
Ruben. How can you wash the dishes before you ate? I mean, you put the food on the plate to make it dirty, and then remove the food from the plate, wash the dish, then you eat the pile of food from the table. Well, we're not really anything left right now, so I'll give it to you. I'll give you from my wife. Alright, move over here, man. This is the smartest thing anybody in the world can do. Just don't even have dishes. Just have paper plates if you can. If you can't even have paper plates, then you just put most things just on a paper towel. Worst case scenario, just eat over the sink. You know, it's like, why encumber yourself with those horrible tasks that you don't like? Rachel and I almost never dirty any dishes. Once they were forks and knives, you know.
Yeah, and coffee mugs.
And coffee mugs.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, eating only food that can be eaten over the sink without any utensils is really the dream. That's living the real dream then. If you could somehow microwave it without even a paper plate or something, you know, it's like, that would really be the dream.
Yeah.
Well, and some things you can't. You can microwave it right in the box that it has, you know. Take it out of the microwave. Ideally, you got like trash under the sink, right? Go to the sink. You open the hot package of food. very cool for a second. Just throw the trash and the packaging and the food in the trash can. Eat over the sink. It's just like a hot pocket or something, so you don't even have to have any utensils or anything. There's something tidier than a hot pocket because I don't even want to need a napkin to wipe my mouth or anything afterwards, ideally. That would be maximally efficient eating. I mean, you have a lot of goals in your mind? That's not very... Are they really goals? Like, what do you think is a goal? I've got to pee. Does that mean my goal is to pee? Rachel's saying, Eric, why would you tell me to go pee?
Yes.
If you're just gonna be insane.
Yes.
Because I don't have to fucking go through all that hassle that you have to do. I was just trying to be helpful. I think you probably don't like it when I tell you things like, you shouldn't do it that way, but I just thought, gosh, that looks like a lot of cold on your butt, you know?
I appreciate it.
And there's not any toilet paper in there.
No.
But I'm a man, so, you know, I have an advantage in the peeing department. The advantage of manhood, it's called. Meow, why do you like
I agree. Meow.
You are so full of meows. Huh?
Yeah, so many meows.
Did you invent the word meow just for us? Oh, yeah.
Meow.
So meowy. Well, I guess after I pee, we'll probably wrap it up here. I'm feeling pretty tired.
I was just thinking the same thing.
It's 9:15. We had a long trip. It was, you know, it was a good trip. It was also a hard trip in some certain ways. You know, it was expensive, but not that expensive, but it kind of, you know, that kind of shit kind of weighed on me all the time.
Yes, me too.
Meow!
Meow.
Okay, enough meowing, jeez. What are you even trying to say? Are you trying to communicate with us using your meows? And say, hey, look at me, I'm meow.
Do you mind if I head into bed?
What's that?
Do you mind if I head into bed?
Well, go for it. Right behind you. I was like
Good
a
night,
short time this train
everyone.
before I pee. Who knows how long it'll take me to pee, so. Alright, friends. Loving friends. Friends we love. We love to love you tonight, my friends. Lovely, loving was loved. And yet then, nevertheless, came time to go to bed. That doesn't change our loving love, but it does change our online status from streaming to not streaming. So just remember, even though we're not streaming in your ears and eyes right now, our love streams eternally. Okay, so we're always streaming in your heart. And the other thing I say is, I know, but every one of you should have some time on your bucket list in life to eat at that little girl steakhouse we ate at. Because it is the most insane place you will ever eat. The end.